Hayya Shaitan, Hayya Ibliss, Hayya Jinn, Hayya Shaitan, Hayya Ibliss, Hayya Jinn. Whilst working with the Black Devils, the initiate must acquire a high spirituality, satanic vibrancy. If one is lacking in this area, the initiate will undergo a probation or a psychic observation from the non-human entities, the jinn, for the course of 49 days. The satanic vibrancy shared amongst the Black Devils attracts them and allows the sorcerer to commune and befriend them. Jinn originally translates from the hidden or concealed. Once when Allah's blasphemy lighted this cosmos, the angels pushed and forced down our darkest infernal family, including Azazel, into the shadows and cracks of the unseen at Mount Hermon. They still dream and savagely twist and turn. The aeons pass, awaiting the arrival of the great Ad-Dajjal to tear with tooth and claw the threshold of our reality. We fell out of touch with our infernal family nearly 2,000 years ago in the birthing of the White Lodge, which is now dying. Shaitans, jinn, especially those of our father Azazel, can cause hellish nightmares in which the initiate, the Black Devil, realizes darker aspects of his or her spiritual makeup that previously went unknown. The conscious realization, sleep paralysis, insanity, ultra-terrestrial visitation can also enhance our spirituality, driven predatory vampiric natures. Their grip and power must overwhelm the psychological and input stimuli of the spiritual jihadist. This allows the Wahash, the spiritual beast, to travel in between the cracks of the mind and the spirit, to seed forth blood essence into the void. We travel worlds upon worlds, cursing and uttering chants of the universe's demise and the inevitable return of the great Ibliss. Over a progressive amount of time, these direct spiritual confrontations leave an imprint or a stain upon the ruh, the false ego. The intention of the imprint is to shock the spirit. Over time, this allows us to commune with them, and thus can they transfer their spiritual fire via sacrifice and bloodlet. Other means of communicating with them is through salat, through prayer, meditation, and certain breathing techniques such as the pranayama. Frenzied and sporadic channels of demonically induced hypnotic states comes unexpectedly and often without warning, leaving the Black Devil to wander in utter confusion between the realms of the causal and acausal. Those who pledge allegiance to the infernal and the fiery realm of the Black City will be spiritually tortured, terrified, and deeply spiritually wounded. This is for the advancement of attuning to the more choicest spiritual Wahash, something beyond human comprehension and rationale. The chosen of Azazel hear our Father's great call and know in their hearts how to gain the secrets of secrets. The spiritual fire of the adversary from Siti Azazel, troops and magicians of the Black Devils, spiritual soldiers and shamans. Not all are inclined to physically fight, but should you take up the necessary precautions, know that the next proverbial move be calculated. To further the kingdoms and the manifestations physically, for instance, one can psychically, spiritually drain a subject's vessel without having to come into physical contact with it. That's not to say that we denote real acts of physical evil and chaos, which will be provided by more clandestine and natural deformations of the spirit, transmitted telepathically to each initiate. We are more focused upon the death of the spirit through direct confrontation with the nameless entities of the abyss. Allow the flame of the jinn to rest within the clay vessels of our mortal bodies, slowly melting away our spirit harshly and brutally, transforming us into true devils. This trait of the black devil allows us to rape the accursed mundanity of the Western ethos. We blaspheme the blind one, the true deceiver. Allah has kept us shackled in chains of orthodoxy and societal indoctrination enslavement for millennia. This state of stagnation, which will give rise to the black devils as an antidote to the spiritual filth that now riddles this planet, has held us humans in psychic and spiritual and physical prison for the last 2,000 plus years. Yet through them, our infernal family, we become fire, and thus transgress, go without, and journey beyond the influence of the blind one Allah and his false light consort angels. The jinn are closer to the shaitani and all manner of living devils. We must open that door between us and them. Opening up the outside is very dangerous and fraught with terror and trauma. Those of the black devils fully allow them to awaken the innermost shadows of their subconscious and inevitably become possessed, to share a body with another entity of the abyss, to walk as a demon in the flesh. We expose ourselves to filth, rot, and decay, so the spirit might die, that we may communicate with the Wahash and go beyond the limitations of the blind one and his false light. Darkness allows us to rip a hole in the universe and piece together the whole puzzle, all the way back to the absolute, Hawaya, the void, within and without. The program limitations of the self, a horrendous ploy of Allah, given to us by modern and mediocre filters of deceit, have dumbed us down to such a base level it appears absurd to the animating force of the cosmos. The black devil should never be of a singular spiritual denotative identity. It's more akin to a hive mind resonant within the abyss herself. When one pledges their mind, heart, and body, soul to Shaitan, they become one with the collective hive mind of the Hawaya, or the spiritual cell, dedicated to bringing down the higher vibrations of hell and chaos. The eternal black city awaits your response. It's their one issue I can stress the most. It's that the revolt, which must first arise from within, you have to revolt against the spirituality imposed trash and program response that we were born with. This must be spiritually realized in order to cause any real change in the realm of the spirit. By this extended spiritual connection to the shaitanic current, the black city manifests itself in dreams and visions that one day will come to fruition and commingle with the 3D manifestation, meaning the literal black city will become fully manifest upon this mudball earth. Pandemonium. We will be able to become that fire which they then emanate, the eternal shaitanic flame which comes directly through Siddi Azazel, our father and teacher. Azazel lies in the chambers of forgetfulness and is sought, seen, and felt in times of spiritual crisis. This is why us, the black devils, must take that first step into the absolute and throw our shackles aside, allowing the darkness to breathe into us. Ya Waya, Ya Ataghut, Ya Alpha Wada. Oh, the chaos springing forth from the waters of Waya, enlightening the chosen of Shaitan, the gates between the stars, and our insatiable hearts thirst for connection, that we might allow the children of our Lord within the inner sanctums of our spirit and mind itself. We must dream awake and hear their call at the end of time. The black devils are comprised of the same source, our eternal mother, Huwaya. However, we are locked away in this meat machine by a jealous and vindictive God who wants us to suffer. For he created this universe outside of the absolute. The black devils willingly accept death, and indeed tend to become close friends with the abyss, in which dreams and nightmares are made manifest within the conscious fiber of our physical being. We need to feel their icy breath blown across our bones. Many practices can induce such states of possession and communion with them. Practice thicker, listen to heavy industrial music, see yourself marching at the coming of the gates, see yourself in the Black City, induce traumatic psychic interface, stay awake for days on end, ingest psychedelic compounds, shed blood, subject the body to extreme pain, etc. The gift of spiritual sight is given to us through realization of the Wahash, the beast, and its tremendous power fueled by Siddhi Azazel. This allows insight in eternal darkness to remain in the rubble and the dirt of the commonplace world. This is where visions and dreams lie, in the true mud and grime of life. Hide behind that rubble. Let it suffocate you. Become one with that of what the world has forgotten. We are here, but only for a short time, and will remain blind until we come to rest with our Father Azazel in infinite blackness. Thrust yourself into the abyss and feel the eternal cleansing fires of Jahannam embrace you. Ya Fawaya Hum Huaya, the legion of devils with absolute souls. Hayya Shaitan, Hayya Ibliss, Hayya Jinn, Hayya Shaitan, Hayya Ibliss, Hayya Jinn, Hayya Shaitan, Hayya Ibliss.